I have a job interview in 2 hours and I'm watching doo-doo gaming.
I mean,
Am I
soft,
cooked?
But then there's like
nah, you're fine. You're fine.
You know, it's basically like a soup at that point. So
if they ever ask you, like, if there's people you look up to, you could say you look up to doo-doo.
Now, I mean, he is.
I have the worst interview story ever, chat. Ever. It's really embarrassing.
Is able to bounce off. That's another charge into an inhibitor turret. At
I feel like I do this a lot. Okay, I'll say it while there's something happening. I do this a lot as a person. I don't know why. Okay, but I expect things to happen that don't happen. So I had an interview. Nice cleanse. When I was younger, I had a job interview for like I don't know what it was. Like it was like the council, the local council or some shit, like to help with their social media or something. So my mum dropped me off, and I walked into the building, and there was a reception, and I just sat down in the reception. I just sat down. I sat down because I thought that someone would come to me and say, interview with Mark. So I just sat down. I sat down, and it was like, I don't know, like 11 a.m., let's say. And my meeting was supposed to be at 11 a.m. I sat down, and I sat there for 1 hour until 12. And then I messaged my mum, and I said, no one's here to interview me. And then she picked me up, and I said, there was no one there to interview me, and then we drove home. And as we were driving home, my mum called the fucking place and said, yeah, he was waiting there. There was no interview, or whatever. And they said, yeah, they were. We were waiting for you to tell us that you were there. So my mum said, wait, you didn't go to the reception and say, like, you're here? I was like, no. And then she got really triggered.
Missed a CS there.
It does really feel like Berserker or Bust here.
How old was I? I was like 18.
The DN freaks.
Bro, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do.
But it's also not
the other interview I had, bro, I was so acoustic. It's crazy. I mean, I still am. Listen, the other interview I had was like a couple weeks later.
Also, the way Aurora works, it's like
I had an interview at a bank. It was called NatWest or something. And what I did was, because I had fucked up so hard on the last interview and not told them that I was there, on this interview, I walked into the bank and there was a queue of customers waiting to talk to the banker. I walked past the whole queue and went in front of someone and said, sorry, excuse me, 1 sec. And I said, I'm here for an interview. And they looked at me, everyone like, wait, hold up, is the game over here?
Yeah. From the woman with scissors as Rich is just running
Wait, DRX Gwen is so busted.
Doing incredible amounts of damage. The flash on in to secure the kill as well.
This interview, I walked past like there was 3 people in a queue talking to a bank person. I walked past all of them. And like as they were at the fucking stand, I got next to them and said, hello, I'm here for an interview. And they were like talking about their personal thing with the bank. And they looked at me and were like, okay, just go sit over there. But everyone looked at me so awkwardly. And then I waited and eventually someone came that time. But that one was super awkward. People were just staring at me like I was skipping the queue.
But good thing here is that DRX are pretty far ahead. Unfortunately, this equalizer also.
So no matter how your interview goes, okay, you'll learn something for the next interview, I promise. Did you get the job? No, I didn't get the job. No, I didn't. No, I didn't get the job. Why? I don't know, I didn't finish school. It's not like I have mega qualifications or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really think it's gonna matter.
True.
No, I didn't get kicked out. My grades were super good, super good. But it's because my family had to move. And then when we moved, they told me that because I was studying on a different system and I had to restart the system for 2 years. And I said, fuck you, I'm not doing that.
DNF can do as we're just gonna pretend that didn't
so I just didn't finish.
But they're playing like 1-3-1, right? They got this Corki, very safe. Rich is untouchable.
Bro, I'm not redoing a whole year. Bro, CBA. I didn't like it.
Zyra instead, with the chance of picking up Skarner and Rumble.
I didn't want to go to university anyway.
They took that trade in the draft. It did not pay off for them, as we can see.
But now I do kind of want to go to university. So when I finish being a streamer, I'm gonna go to university and do a course when I'm like 35.
This isn't.
I'm gonna rock up and study some history or some shit. That's gonna be cool.
It's just I'm saying.
Another true story is when I was younger. When I was still hunting jobs, okay, you're gonna say Gigasoy. You're gonna say Gigasoy. It's story time because this game is slow as fuck. When I was younger, my big brother was in the army, and obviously I was doing job interviews, and I said, you know what? I will join the Air Force. I'll join the Air Force. So I applied to the Air Force, and I got accepted. And my mom and dad were so happy. They're like, oh my god, that's so cool. You can go start your training. or some shit I had to do,
Hard time
some
seeing
training.
DN freaks find
But then I
angle
spoke
back
to my
into
brother
this.
about
We're
it,
gonna have to be some
okay?
heroics, I think, mostly from
And he said
Yoshi
when you
here.
join the Air Force or the Army, they do a health check on you, so they have to take your blood. So I said to my mum, I said like, Mum, I can't go to this job. They're gonna take my blood like every few months. I can't do that. Like, I just can't do it. So after like a couple days, I didn't show up to the training because I was too scared of getting my blood taken every few months. Bro, I don't want my blood taken every few months. That's horrible. What the fuck?
Very good at holding on to their leads and not really giving up.
I'm too scared of fucking injections, bro. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that shit.
They've just sent their very fed carries to the side lane, and they've taken every single objective except one Chemtech Drake, and I guess the Grubs early on. But
No, I was gonna be an air traffic guy.
Once they got the lead, they have not let go. They haven't lost a single
Air
turret.
traffic.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
This is whiskey, Haribo, Celsius.
So maybe get something going. It ends
More
up being an
stories?
equal trade between the two teams, but Berserker got like 900 gold from Rich. Not the fight
When
that
I was in
DRX
my
were
old
looking
house
for.
in the UK and I was still
I'm
looking
glad
for those
that, you know,
jobs,
I say
I
it
convinced my mum to
immediately,
buy me a
it
very
will
big
come
metal
first,
detector, and I used to walk around our garden every other day to try and see if there was like hidden metal jewels underneath the floor. We didn't have a big garden, but I was convinced something was there. And eventually I found something and it was like, like going crazy. And it just turned out it was like, apparently there was a copper tube for the fucking toilet or some shit. I was so tilted.
Still in a really dire state.
I used to watch these YouTube videos of people finding so much shit
Your scaling is fantastic.
on the beach. I said our garden might have something.
The Valkyrie Inn actually baits DNF into a fight that is not good
Alistar
for them.
Note,
Rich
one
going
shot.
extremely deep, but this time he is able to get away with it.
Gwen is
as
so OP.
continuing to chase them down. Does go into Zonya's, which ends up being totally fine.
They're
A little
fake.
ulti or bullet time
No,
comes
they're
in
not.
from Teddy,
The
goes
modern
to the
day
barrier.
Instagram reels of them throwing them into the river is fake. The old school YouTube. Oh, he's dead actually. Is he dead? No, he's not. He's not tanking. He's tanking. He's tanking.
Once again, that's going to be another kill. No, they're all going so deep and getting taken down by Berserker once again. Looks like Bulldog did pick up the one kill.
Why do you want to study history?
It's not clean.
'Cause
They
it's
have
kinda
thrown
cool.
the macro book out the window.